What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are going to be utilizing Shadow Skuntank as Poison Jab recently got a buff. It does more damage and it hurts. Now I know there's been a lot of content about Shadow Nidoqueen, which is very strong. I personally don't have one, so I'm trying Shadow Skuntank here. We're also utilizing Medicham and Jellicent. Jellicent is there as the safe swap. Now, thank you everyone. My goodness, we hit 100k subscribers here on the channel. This community is amazing. Thank you all for the love and support. And tomorrow, June 3rd at 4 p.m. basically, we are going to be live streaming for Go Battle Night and celebrating 100k subscribers. There'll be giveaways for friend codes, giveaways for patron access, giveaways for new merch that is coming. It's going to be a lot of fun, so be sure to check that out. It's going to drop. I'm going to be live streaming at the same time a normal video will drop on Thursday, so I hope you guys tune in for that. Now, this team is very, very strong. It's absolutely deadly. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles, and let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting into this first battle here, we have Skuntank on the lead versus Altaria. All right, so you guys are about to see what Poison Jab does. Poison Jab, everyone, is just chunking right here, absolutely chunking, and Skuntank can win this matchup in the one shield basically because I can get to 2 crunches here. So what I'm looking to do is build up to 2 crunches and go for them back to back. We're gonna go ahead and throw this first one. This should be getting the shield here from the Altaria, otherwise it's gonna do a lot of neutral damage, and it doesn't get the shield, so I'm actually gonna swap into Jellicent right away and farm down. I can tank a charge move right here, and I want to save that Skuntank charge move just in case there's something in the back that I need it for. So we're going to go ahead and farm down the Altaria. We have quite a bit of energy, and I love Jellicent here with Ice Beam and Shadow Ball. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball right away. This is going to be doing neutral damage against this Shadow Politoed, and if we land it, which we do, that is absolutely solid for us. We still have our Medicham to counter this thing down. Now, Politoed is going to have to throw an Earthquake in order to take us out. Weather Ball is not going to be enough damage, which means we might be able to get to another Shadow Ball in time. No, they're going to go ahead and throw the double Weather Ball, which is fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Medicham right here to farm down, look to get some energy, and Altaria may have been their only counter to a fighter, which it was. There is a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, so this is going to be a good game, very well played. That's what's deadly about the Skuntank right there, is it can put a lot of pressure, not only on Altaria, but it can put pressure on Pokemon like Hypno, Alolan Marowak, Flamethrower there for the Galarian Stunfisk, not Skuntank. But Ice Punches right here are going to be doing neutral damage. We're going to be getting shields, and it's basically going to be a good game. So I believe I decided to let this go. Their only win condition is for me to shield a Rock Slide and then for them to land an Earthquake. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it go because Earthquake wouldn't have KO'd me right there. I'm going to go ahead and shield and then fast move down. And that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. Okay. We're moving into the next battle, though. We got Skuntank on the lead versus Talonflame. Alright, so this is kind of a tough matchup. Incinerate's going to be doing a lot of neutral damage, as you guys can see. And I'm going to guess they will be going for Flame Charge. So I'm going to go ahead and catch that charge move here on Jellicent while storing a crunch there on Skuntank. And it is Flame Charge, right? It does neutral damage, so it makes sense they would go for that. They're deciding to stay in, which tells me they're probably weak to Jellicent in the back, which means they might be weak to charge moves from Medicham or Skuntank, and we do get a shield as well, which is great. We're going to go ahead and shield ourselves. I don't want them to throw a Brave Bird right here and bail. It is going to be a Flame Charge, though, which is unfortunate, and they're deciding to stay in. So we're going to go ahead and overload on energy. I will be shielding again. They seem to be weak to Jellicent in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and shield that Brave Bird, and we do see them swap out into Galarian Stunfisk, which is really nice for us. We can do a lot of neutral damage here with Shadow Ball. Both Ice Beam and Shadow Ball will do neutral, but because we are a Ghost type, we want to be throwing the Shadow Ball right here for same type attack bonus. Charge Move now coming through. This is just going to be Rock Slide. It's not going to be enough to take us out, so we're going to go ahead and throw this next Shadow Ball, and then we're going to swap into our Medicham to get ahead on energy and farm down the Galarian Stunfisk. So we go ahead and swap into the Medicham and fully counter down. They will be throwing an Earthquake right here, which is fine by me. I just want to have loaded energy in order to throw charge moves moves against whatever's in the back, because remember, we know there's a Talonflame, but we don't know what the other Pokemon are going to be. Now, The next Pokemon coming in is going to be a Hypno, which is very, very unfortunate. This thing is an absolute tank, and it's going to be able to farm me down. Now, it is a Shadow Hypno, which means it's going to do more damage with Confusion, but also take more damage as well. So, things are not looking too good, but we have a potential win condition right here, and you guys will start to see this unfold. So, hopefully I can get to another Ice Punch in time. I cannot. My win condition here is to come in with Skuntank and switch instantly to Jellicent to catch the charge move. Let's see if I can do it. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Skuntank, swap into Jellicent, and catch the charge move. I didn't want my opponent to be using or try to farm down my Jellicent if I brought that in, so now Skuntank can come in. I'm going to overload a bit, and we do see them swap into Talonflame, which is okay with me. I'll be able to get this crunch off, and this will be one-shotting the Talonflame, and then I should be able to win the race to the next charge move right here, and we do get to the crunch in time, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. So Skuntank doing really well in this game for us. Charge moves, fast moves, all doing great damage. All right, moving into this next battle here, we have Skuntank on the lead versus Venusaur. All right, a pretty good matchup here for us. Poison Jab does a lot of neutral damage because of that grass poison typing there on Venusaur. As well, we're just going to keep overloading on energy, and it looks they threw the charge move. Now, because we are Shadow, I'm going to go ahead and shield even though this is resisted. I don't want to take too much damage. I'm going to overload right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a crunch. This is going to take out the Venusaur if they decide not to shield. Otherwise, we may be able to win the race the next charge move. So they do decide to shield, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and throw the crunch right away, which I do get to it in time. This is going to get the second shield or take out Venusaur, both of which I'm okay with. And we do see them let it go, which is fine by me. Now we do see a Dragonair come in, which is very, very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and swap in the Jellicent. I'm guessing maybe they have a Zoomerl in the back, so that's why I decided to save Skuntank. And I'm going to bring in Jellicent right here, and I will shield as well. I don't want to get hit with the Dragon Pulse, and it is going to be a Dragon Pulse. Now, also, Shadow Ball will KO. I don't need to go for Ice Beam, and keeping key charge moves hidden from my opponent is very crucial right here. So we go for the Shadow Ball. It takes out the Dragonair, and the last Pokemon is an Altaria. Do you guys think they know I have Ice Beam? I went for Shadow Ball, right? So they may be thinking this is going to be a Bubble Beam shield bait, and Shadow Ball won't one-hit. Boom! We land it right there, which is perfect. This is why using moves like Shadow Ball, when I know it's going to KO, Ice Beam would have been an overkill, allowed me to throw that Ice Beam right there and them to not shield because they weren't expecting it. They were expecting Bubble Beam or Shadow Ball, both of which they could survive. All right. Moving into the next battle, we have Skuntank on the lead versus XL Lickitung right here, which is definitely a tough matchup. Body Slam is going to do a lot of neutral damage, but Poison Jabs are really going to start ripping apart. Because of our Dark typing here, we can resist the Lick damage, which is also very nice. We're going to have to see how much damage Crunch can do. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Crunch right here. It's going to do neutral against this Lickitung, but let's see if they decide to shield. No shield right there, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and overload on energy. I know they're going to be getting to another charge move, so I will shield, and I will commit to the hard farm down right here because Skuntank with loaded energy can do a lot of damage on the meta. So we're going to go ahead and just farm down. We'll have to see what they decide to bring in. They decide to bring in a Wobbuffet. So this is going to be an XL Wobbuffet. So we have XL Lickitung, XL Wobbuffet. Crunch right here is doing super effective damage and not too much as well. We're going to go ahead and throw the next one. And this is going to be, I'm hoping it gets a final shield right here, which would be nice, but they decide to let it go. And then what we're going to do is let Skuntank go down. We're going to come in with Jellicent right here and load up on energy. And we'll have to see what the final Pokemon is going to be. And it is going to be a Zoomerl, and I'm just going to guess this is an XL Zoomerl as well. So our win condition is pretty tight right here. Hopefully this Zoomerl doesn't have Play Rough. It has Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. We're looking very, very good, but all we can do is go straight for Shadow Balls right here. There's no reason to try to throw an Ice Beam. It's the same energy as Shadow Ball, so always just throw the Shadow Ball, and they do have Play Rough. So we're going to have to play this pretty dicey right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the next Shadow Ball. This should be getting the second shield from them as well. This is where Bubble Beam could kind of help out if you know they're going to shield, but that's all I can really do. So what we have now is a win condition with Medicham going for double Psychic. So I'm going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. It is going to be Play Rough. I'm going to swap into Medicham right here and counter down. Now, I fully expect them to swap into Wobbuffet, which they do, so I just didn't throw the Psychic. They were counting my fast moves, and I'm going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. It's probably going to be returned, but it doesn't do too much damage here in this matchup, and now we have a nice win condition. It's going to be double Psychic right here, and we still have Jellicent, which is very close to another Shadow Ball as well. So we're going to go ahead and throw this first Psychic. This is going to be doing neutral damage to the Azumarill, and then the second one is going to be a race to the charge move because this Azumarill does have a lot of energy still. So we are going to see that they went for Ice Beam, sorry, and then we go for this next Psychic, and that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. So again, predicting that they would swap into Wobbuffet to catch the charge move on Psychic, which is why I just decided to just keep countering down because I had a feeling that's what they would do. Alright, moving into this next battle here. We have Skuntank on the lead versus Galvantula. Alright, so Galvantula is kind of tough for this team, but Skuntank does a lot of damage here with poison jabs, which is really, really nice. Now, we are going to shield right here. Lunge and Discharge are definitely not loved when it comes to the charge moves. So we're going to go ahead and overload, and then I'm going to wait for them to get to 2 and then throw the Crunch right here. If this should get a shield from them, honestly, if they want to get another charge move, but they let it go. That's fine by me. We are going to see a Politoed come in, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into Jellicent right away. Save that Skuntank just in case they have an Azumarill in the back. Again, Galvantula being weak to stuff like Bastiodon or like Alolan Marowak. Azumarill is a great third Pokemon, but they actually have Swampert. So they're running Swampert and Politoed in the back, which means Medicham is looking pretty solid. Same with Jellicent right here. Now, if this Swampert has Earthquake, so be it, but it probably has Sludge Wave, and it does have Sludge Wave, which means we're resisting Hydro Cannons and Sludge Wave, so we're going to be able to get off quite a few Shadow Balls right here to put pressure on the shields and the health here of the Swampert. So we're going to go ahead and throw that first Shadow Ball, gets the shield, and we should be able to get to another one in time, which we do. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage to the opponent. My win condition now is with Medicham versus Politoed with a shield. So we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. If it's Hydro Cannon, I think we survive and farm down. If it's Sludge Wave, we do survive, so I'm actually going to swap into Skuntank and fast move down. I want this Politoed to dump its energy, or I get to a Crunch, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go. And then we are going to come in with Medicham right here and close this out as well with Psychic. So they are throwing another charge move right away. This can't be a Blizzard or an Earthquake. It is going to be a Weather Ball, so I'll let that go. And then I will be shielding the next charge move if they build up enough energy. But I believe this is just going to be another Weather Ball. But I can speak today, guys. My goodness. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and go for Psychic right here. Switch Clock is not up, and this is going to do a lot of neutral damage, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. I believe... No, that was the final Pokemon as well. So I fast moved down the Swampert right there. All right. Moving into this next battle. We have Skuntank on the lead versus Alolan Marowak. Alright, another tough Pokemon for this team, but this is why Crunch here on Skuntank is very, very nice. I also need to watch out for Bone Clubs here from Alolan Marowak, and I'm going to go ahead and go for Crunch. This does super effective damage to the Alolan Marowak, right? That Dark to Ghost typing, so we will be getting a shield, and then they are going to be going for Bone Clubs here. I'm going to go ahead and shield. It will do quite a bit of super effective damage, and what I need to do is catch the next Bone Club on Jellicent. So it's going to be 1, 2 fast moves. I swap to Jellicent to catch the Bone Club right here. That way they waste their energy, and I know this is not Shadow Bone, so it's only going to do a little bit of neutral damage. We save some energy there on Skuntank. Now they bring in a Granbull right here, which is perfect. This is why Jellicent Safe Swap with Ice Beam and Shadow Ball is so clutch, because Shadow Ball is going to one-shot right here. It's going to do it, so they're going to have to shield. Nope. Boom! Takes out the Granbull. And we will probably see Alolan Marowak coming back in. Now, depending on how much energy this Alolan Marowak has, Bone Club won't be enough to take me out. So hopefully I can get to a Shadow Ball in time. I can. This is beautiful right here. This is going to be one-shotting Alolan Marowak, which means we will be getting the final shield from our opponent, which we do. Perfect, and they do decide to throw the charge move. This is probably going to be a Bone Club right here, which I still don't think is going to be enough to take us out, which it's not. I swap into Skuntank. I'm going to go ahead and go for Crunch right here. This is going to be taking out Alolan Marowak. We still have a shield, we still have Medicham, and we have Jellicent as a sacrificial swap endgame. The final Pokemon is going to be Azumarill. And as you guys can see, this is what Shadow Skuntank does to Azumarill. Those are just poison jabs right there, which is beautiful. Crunch, even though it is resisted, it still does a decent amount of damage as well. And we're going to get this Azumarill extremely low right here, which is very, very nice. Medicham can easily come in and close this game out for us. Play Rough will not one-shot, so I don't need to worry. And I do have Jellicent as a sacrificial swap, and I still have a shield. So they're going to go ahead and throw the first charge move. I will be letting this go, and it is going to be an Ice Beam. So they went for a shield bait unless they don't have Play Rough, and I'm going to go ahead and swap into Jellicent to catch the next charge move, and they do decide to throw it right here. This could be the Play Rough if they do have it, but no, it's going to be another Ice Beam, which means they're rocking with Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, moving into this next battle here, we have Skuntank on the lead versus Medicham. Somewhat of an interesting lead matchup, and we're going to have to see what my opponent decides to do. I'm going to go ahead and go for Crunch. They went for Power Up Punch right away. It's going to be 5 counters. This is Power Up Punch. I'm not going to shield. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Crunch. This does a lot of neutral damage, and if I can get a shield right here, I'm fine with going into Jellicent, because I think it's going to have a very good opportunity to get a second shield or just completely flip this mid game, and they decide to stay in a bit and come in with Galvantula. We have a lot of loaded energy right here, so I'm going to go ahead and go for Shadow Ball on the CMP tie, which means I lose CMP, but that's okay. They can't sneak through a fast move, which is fine by me. I will be shielding the Discharge. Shadow Ball right here is going to near one-shot, or we get the second shield. This is why I said I was fine coming in Jellicent with a 2-to-1, and we do land it, which is perfect. That means I can fast move down, keep positive energy, and the final Pokemon is going to be Empoleon, which Medicham can handle very well, and Medicham versus Medicham as well. You guys can kind of see how this game is chessing out. So this is what I love about the Jellicent safe swap with Skuntank, is if you can get yourself early shield advantage like we did against Medicham, Jellicent can put a lot more pressure in that mid game to get that final shield to allow Skuntank or Medicham to sweep endgame. I do decide to swap into my own Medicham. We're in even shields. I still have Skuntank. I still have Jellicent as a sac swap, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played to my opponent. Alright, moving into this next battle. We have Skuntank on the lead versus Politoed. This is a bad matchup, and I messed up. You need to swap right away, because what I try to do is catch the Weather Ball right on the charge move, which they're not going to do, which means that Politoed has a lot of loaded energy, and that's going to bite me come endgame. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Ice Beam right here. Obviously, this is what I want to be going for in this matchup. It's going to do super effective damage, but it's not enough to one-shot. So what I need to do is actually lose this mid-game matchup and come in with Skuntank and hard farm to get a lot of energy to come back into that Politoed matchup, which is why I said I messed up at the beginning. I should have swapped right away. That way I have energy advantage versus Politoed instead of even energy again, because it did over farm, right? So we are going to see Politoed potentially come back in, but it is going to be Galarian Stunfisk, and I threw a blind Crunch right here. I should have firstly read what was coming in and then thrown the Flamethrower, which would have definitely been a lot nicer. Now I am going to try to catch the charge move right here again on Medicham, which is a mistake, again, because you guys are trying to see I'm trying to catch Weather Ball on Jellicent, I'm trying to catch Rock Slide on Medicham, but my opponent is doing a very, very good job of not throwing it on the charge move. So now things are very dicey. I ideally wanted to soak some of that energy from Galarian Stunfisk here on Medicham, and this is going to be a tough matchup to win because this Politoed is so loaded and it can keep throwing Weather Balls right here. Now we are going to go for Ice Punches. This is going to do resisted damage, but they will have to start shielding as well. And hopefully I can get to another one in time. No, I cannot. All right. This is a tough situation right here. I will have to start shielding, and hopefully I can take out this Politoed. Can I get to the next Ice Punch? No, I cannot. So we're going to have to shield again. This is going to be so dicey, everyone. We have no shields. We still have Skuntank, which has a little bit of energy, and we're going to try to catch the charge move right here. They do decide to swap back into the Galarian Stunfisk, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the Crunch. Hopefully this does enough neutral damage, or we get a shield. They let it go, which is unfortunate. And now they're going to hit me with a Rock Slide, which will do neutral damage as well. And it's going to be enough to take me out. Now, or they hit me with the Earthquake. Now we come in with Medicham right here. I have 2 Ice Punches ready to go. And again, this is where letting Politoed get energy bit me. Again, it has another Weather Ball ready to go, even though I had 2 Ice Punches. So that is going to be a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Way to hold those charge moves when I tried to catch them on my Pokemon on Jellicent and Medicham. Alright, moving in this next battle, we have Skuntank on the lead versus Medicham. Alright, we saw what we did earlier with this matchup, but my opponent in this one decides to swap to Dugong. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Medicham right here. This is definitely a very favorable matchup for me. And I can just go for 2 Psychics, basically, in order to win this matchup, or I get both shields. I also won't be shielding these Icy Winds. They do quite a bit of neutral damage, but we're going to go ahead and throw this Psychic right here after over-farming a bit, just in case the Dugong decides to let it go. Let's see what they decide to do. They decide to shield, which is fine by me. I can survive this next Icy Wind. It's going to be close, but you guys saw how much damage Icy Wind did before, which means this isn't going to KO me. So hopefully I can get to the Psychic in time, which I can. Beautiful. One fast move away right there, and we do get the Psychic. This is going to get that second shield, which I'm fine with, or flip the matchup, which we do. So we get 2-to-1 shields, and we keep positive switch advantage, which means I can bring Jellicent into that Medicham, which is definitely a better matchup than Skuntank, and I can save Skuntank for whatever they have in the back. Now they're deciding to stay in, which tells me maybe they're weak to Jellicent in the back as well. This is going to be a Psychic. I'm going to let it go. We'll have to see what they decide to do. So the Psychic does quite a bit of neutral damage, and they have Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So this is definitely kind of dicey right here. Galarian Stunfisk with the shield is definitely deadly, so hopefully we can land these Shadow Balls, which we do. And Jellicent is kind of my win condition right here. I need it to take out both Galarian Stunfisk and Medicham. Skuntank can handle Medicham in a zero shield situation, so I need to be applying a lot of pressure. So I'm going to be going for another Shadow Ball. Hopefully we get a shield, which is going to be ideal here. No, they let it go, which means they're going to be able to get to a charge move, so I will have to shield right here because Jellicent is going to be a good win condition and can get me a shield. So we do block that Rock Slide. We're going to fast move down. Hopefully we survive. Yes, we do. They are going to bring back in Medicham right here, so I will be going for the Shadow Ball. And I should ideally be swapping into Skuntank right now to go for the Crunch. But I decide to stay in to do more Hex damage. And hopefully I get to the Shadow Ball in time. No, I don't. Just barely didn't get it right there. This is going to be Ice Punch, and it is going to be resisted, but it is enough to take me out. Now it's going to be up to Skuntank to close this out, which I think we can do just fine. We're going to be able to get to that Crunch in time, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent right there. So again, Jellicent very strong in this matchup, and Medicham trusting it to survive those Icy Winds was definitely essential. And those were the battles right there. Currently ranked 9, 30 wins, 35 battles done, which is really awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Again, be on the lookout for tomorrow's 100K Go Battle Night live stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for the support and reaching this milestone. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.